morning, everybody. Joseph Anderson here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today I'm working on a 30-ton Lennox unit. What was happening to it is the transformer was overheating, causing it to blow the fuses. These ones on here are 100 amp, 600 VAC fuses. Let me just go ahead and look. All right, these are the fuses here. It actually was blowing the first one. We're going ahead and replace all three of them. Just, make sure there's no damage to the other fuses. Also, too, the transformer was blown. That's what was actually shortening it, causing the fuses to pop. And also the contactor. If you notice the one on the far left, it's a little discolored. Means there's too much. It was heating up too much. The wire's heating up too much, so the contactor's probably fried. So we have new components here, new transformer, new contactor. One thing you have to check when you're changing out these contactors, this is a blower contactor, is your coil voltage. If you notice right here, it says 24 VAC. The coil 24 VAC is what it takes to actually pull this contact in. So you got to make sure when you replace the contactor that you look here, make sure, okay, 24 volt coil. This one is a 24 volt coil. Okay, so we're good. Also too, on here, you got to make sure this one is your primary. On this one, it's 480, and your low voltage would be 24 volts. If you notice on your secondary, it's 24. Same thing with this one. You just got to make sure your transformer's hooked up right, make sure the voltage is right, and also make sure your low voltage is right. Because yeah, you'll end up shorting out this transformer again or smoking other components. So yep, let's get to it, and we'll go ahead and replace these components. Alright, so we went ahead and changed out the transformer and the contactor, and also the fuses. I was going to show you, if you're not really sure, sometimes the data tag doesn't always show, like on here it's kind of faded or whatever, but it doesn't actually show your voltage, your incoming voltage. If you're not sure exactly what type of voltage it takes, you can also check with your meter. See, here's your breaker coming in. You can actually just come across your bottom leads going into this, right? And see, and we got 490, so it's 490 volt. So you can always check with that if you're not 100% exactly what type of voltage it takes on here. But also too, I want to show you on your transformer here, right? One side is your line voltage, right, and the other side is your low voltage, for your load. So your your line voltage here will be your whatever it requires for this unit. So like on this case, it's 480, right? So you tap it in for 480 on your line side, and on your low side, this one here is 24 volts. So so you make sure this one's wired into your 24 volt side that supplies power to your contactors, to your boards, all your components. So yeah, just make sure you verify with that. If you're not 100%, a good way of doing stuff is take a picture of it before you actually take it apart. Take a picture. Okay, the wires go to this one, these wires go to that one. Same thing with your contactor. Just make sure you take pictures of the color the way it is. Like on this one, it's was that pink, yellow, and blue. So if you're not 100% on how to put these things back together, just take a picture of it, and so you have something to go back to if you forget which colors go where. Yeah, so far, this is the old contactor here. The contactor actually didn't seem too bad, but when a unit has a shortage like that where it actually pops breakers, because this one actually controls you know, you're 24, and then I noticed this burnt mark here, so I just thought, you know what, it's just better off just changing it out, because everything else might work fine, the contactor might work fine, but sooner or later it just goes out. You know, the contacts inside get fried, they just stop pulling in, so you end up hearing a chattering or even buzzing, you know, making a buzzing noise. That just means the contactor's failing. Yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and verify everything else is good, and yeah, we'll go ahead and start this thing up. Alright guys, it's back up and running. I went ahead and made sure nothing else was going to short the ground, made sure all my compressors were okay, ohmed them out, just made sure, you know, nothing's going to short these transformers out, or the fuses. Right now I don't think you guys can see it, but this Lennox board right now is saying fan only. It's probably not calling for cooling yet. We'll give it a few minutes anyways. It should start up. Alright, so yeah, I just want to go over a few things. Your air, you know, coming across these guys. You know, when you come up to it, and let's say you put your gauges on and this thing's reading a low suction with it, maybe a normal head pressure, you know, your red side. You know, don't always assume that it's low on charge. Check things that causes low pressure, like a dirty filter, you know, dirty evap coil, maybe your belt fell off, you know, if it's belt driven, or if the fan stopped working, your indoor blower stopped working. Check those. It could be a restriction somewhere, you know, TXV, metering device, you know, just check for anything freezing up. You know, maybe a TXV is frozen up completely, so it's causing a low suction. And the same thing with high pressure. When, let's say, your compressors are going off on high head pressure, right? Just heating up and shutting down. You know, just before you do anything, just check, make sure your condenser fans are running, all of them. You know, make sure, you know, whatever fans are supposed to be running. Like on this one, it has 4. You know, so each stage gets, you know, because this is this one has 4 compressors, so 4 stages. You know, just verify that all fans are working correctly and spinning correctly and rejecting heat, you know, pushing air out. Also too, check your condenser coils. Sometimes when those things are plugged or, you know, haven't been cleaned in a while, it can cause high head pressure, mostly in hot days, really hot days. Just a couple things to look at. Also too, you know, when you guys start up anything, you know, high voltage, even low voltage stuff, just, you know, when you start things up, just make sure you put the panels back on, doors like this, you know, just so, you know, when you fire it back up, it just saves yourself. The unit can be repaired. If something pops, at least it's popping inside that box and not at you. Yeah, just some safety stuff. Just make sure you're not in front of it, you know, standing in front of it with the door open and flip the breaker. Just stand to the side, if anything, flip it on, you know, just make sure you're taking care of yourself, you know. Yeah, so yeah, we'll give this thing a few minutes, and then yeah, we'll see what it does. Alright, so yep, all 4 stages have came on. They're all cycling on and off correctly. The unit seems to be working just fine. If there's any comments or any questions, please comment. I'll answer you guys as quickly as possible. But for right now, that should be it. And thank you again for watching.